Man, fuck this shit.
Shadow, what the
Alright, what's up guys, it's Shadow. In today's video, we're going to be going over how to make a LieuTypeBeat. No, a LieuTypeBeat. Sorry. Yeah, so guys, before we start the video, I'm just going to say let's try to get 25 to 50 likes. That's the goal every week now. You know, hit subscribe if you like the video. I post these videos every Saturday or Sunday at around 6 p.m. usually. And yeah, let's just get right into the video, guys. Alright, so to start off, we're going to set the BPM to 200. I know that sounds really high, but if you've listened to any of Lieu's music, then you know that he always has like a really high BPM. That's kind of part of his style. So we're going to set the BPM to 200, and then we're going to go over sound selection. Alright, starting off with the sound selection, everything I used in this video is from the Gucci kit, so go download the Gucci kit. I'll put it in the link in the description. To start off, I have this 2020 hi-hat. You know, super clean, super tight, 808, bro, what am I saying? Super clean, super tight hi-hat. The generic clap, which is just the most generic clap you can get. The hardest spins 808 from the Gucci kit. This is just, I didn't use this is just from when I started a project. The Molly kick, this generic open hat, and then this Phi rim. And then my tag, you could just ignore that shit. And the last thing I used for the melody, I used Serum. And I'm just gonna, before we get into the beat, I'm just gonna say you don't have to use Serum. You could easily use the 3x oscillator. But I just, I use Serum because it's what Lieu uses. And I have it, but like I said, you can go right here, get a 3x oscillator, and just adjust these knobs. And eventually you'll be able to get a sound like exactly like what I made. So it's not gonna be that hard. Alright guys, starting off with the melody, I usually like to keep it simple. It's alright, you know, I have like this one bar that I repeated, and then at the end of the second bar I added an extra note, and then at the end of the fourth bar I added 2 extra notes, and that's pretty much it. Here, I'll let it play for you guys so you can hear what it would sound like. Alright, so you guys get the idea pretty much. Just play around, super simple. You can make it complex if you want, but you know, if you want to make a LieuTypeBeat, for the most part, it's just really simple melodies like this. And I'm just gonna say for the melody, what I did is I added Destructor. If you don't have like one of the more recent versions of FL Studio, then you might not have Destructor. So if you have FL Studio, go update FL Studio, because Destructor is a really good plugin. It can be used for a lot of things, but the way that I use it, right, is I added Destructor with a bit crusher, right? If you just go to presets, lo-fi, it will open up the bit crusher. These are the settings I have, but you can play around with it and pretty much do like whatever you want. But once you put the settings on it, it turns the melody into this. And it just kind of adds, you know, an extra layer, you know, texture to the melody that sounds really nice. Alright, so for the hi-hats, I just did a 2-step, varied the velocities, and then added chops. To add chops, you just click Control, drag, and then click Alt-U, and it's gonna, you could adjust these knobs, and it will, you know, make the chop have more notes or less notes. Basically, you can just play around with that, but I added a chop right at the beginning, and then at the end, I added a little chop, and then I added these little extra notes, right here, and right here, and then these little bottom notes down here. So I'm gonna play the pattern out so you can hear what it sounds like. Alright, so that's what the hi-hat pattern is gonna sound like. Pretty simple, you know, just pretty much a 2-step hi-hat pattern. You know, you could add a couple chops on top of the bass hi-hat pattern if you want. If you don't have to, I mean, you could just do a basic 2-step hi-hat pattern. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the hi-hats. Now we're gonna move on to the clap, which is, as I always say, the easiest part of a beat. Literally just this. That's it. Now we're gonna move on to the 808. For the 808, if you want to tune your 808s, you could play them at the same time as your melody, right? What you're gonna do is right click on your melody and then click on your 808, right? And if you want to find a good pitch for your, if you want to pitch the 808s to your melody, you're just going to click Control A to select them all, and then Control up arrow to move them up a couple octaves, and you can listen to them in a higher pitch, which will help you hear the tone better. Right, so if I move it down to the correct octave. There's really no pattern when it comes to Lieu's 808s. You can kind of just do whatever you're feeling in the moment. You could take inspiration from mainstream hip hop. You could listen to other glitchcore type beats, other hyperpop type beats. But this is the 808 pattern I came up with. Not too complex, you know. It's just like a downward progressing pattern where it starts high pitched and ends low pitched. Alright, that's gonna be it for the 808s. Now we're gonna move on to the kick. This is the kick, which is also really simple. It's pretty much just the 808 pattern. All I did is I added this triplet little note, these little triplet notes at the end. You notice the pattern in Lieu type beats is that the patterns are really repetitive. They don't have to be too complex. It's almost better if the patterns are repetitive because he doesn't do too much in his beats. The main like focus of his beats is having a high BPM, you know, like a sine wave melody and just some like catchy 808 pattern. Alright, the next sound in the drums is going to be this open hat, which I just made it hit every bar pretty much. You can hear it right here. Super simple, nothing too crazy. I just added this to, you know, add an extra layer to the beat. And then the last drum we have right here is this rim that I make hit right before the claps pretty much. This is what it's going to sound like. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the drums. Now we're going to move on to the structuring. Because this is a 200 BPM beat, you're going to make the verses and the hooks longer than normal. I actually made it twice as long as I normally make them. So normally an intro for a beat would be 9 bars, and then my hooks are 16 bars. But I made the intro 16 bars, the hook is 32 bars, the verse is 32 bars, and then I play the hook again, and then it ends. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 16 bars for the intro, where the first 9 bars are just the melody, and then the next 9 bar, or the first 8 bars are just the melody. The next 8 bars are gonna be the hi-hat, and then the last 8 bars are gonna be with the clap. And right before the beat drops, I'm just gonna take out the hi-hats for a little gap. And if you put a tag in your beats, this is optional. If you want to do this, you don't have to. But I just made my tag hit like this. I just added this little chop right here because in a lot of Lieu beats he'll add like random sound effects that have like stutters in it and stuff. So just to like add a little element of that, I figured I'd do that with my tag. Alright, like I said, the hook is just 32 bars, where after the first 16 bars I drop the clap out for a little bit and I repeat that. Then it drops out to the hook, which as you can see, it just progresses. The first 16 bars are just the hi-hats and the melody. Then I bring in the rim and the hi-hats for the rest of the time, and then halfway through I bring in the claps. And at the very end I drop the hi-hats out right before it drops into the beat like this. Yeah, and then the last thing I do is I put a master volume automation clip, and at the very end I just, you know, trail it off so that the beat, you know, the melody sort of trails off as the beat ends. For mixing, the only thing I do is I sidechain the kick to the 808. I pretty much just click the kick channel, and then I click this little button here on the 808 channel, or whatever your 808's routed to. Click that. There you go. Now you have a sidechained 808. On the 808, I put a fast distortion, and I just, you know, move this knob down a little bit. I put a soft clipper on the 808, on the kick, and on the master channel, because that's going to make the kicks hit a little bit more. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the video today. If you liked it, hit the like. If you didn't like it, don't. If you want to see more from me, every week I post a tutorial video, so hit the subscribe button. I hope you guys have a good day or night whenever you're watching this video. Yeah, peace guys.